Chosen one, no wonder you're giddy, because your life is about to change completely, from being tolerated by people who never deserved access to your energy, to being celebrated by those who recognize the legend you were always meant to become. The cosmic machinery has been building pressure behind the scenes, and that unstoppable transformation everyone said was impossible is about to explode into your reality with a force that will leave your former doubters speechless and scrambling to understand how they missed the signs of your inevitable ascension. You illuminate paths for other people, chosen one, often without realizing the magnitude of your impact. What feels like light work to you creates seismic shifts in others' realities. The motivation and inspiration you provide isn't small or easy. It's transformative energy that changes lives, and word is traveling fast about who you really are beneath the humble exterior you've been wearing. Right now, as you absorb these words, there are people scattered across your past who are feeling the void where your energy used to flow freely. They took you for granted, assumed you would always be available for their convenience, treated your generosity like an all-you-can-eat buffet. They thought it was cute or endearing how they acted toward you, that entitled attitude that made them feel superior. They know exactly what they did, and they're feeling your absence like a phantom limb, but you aren't going backward. This isn't your first transformation, and you know exactly what needs to be done. The pivot, the bounce back, the strategic repositioning that leaves them scrambling to understand what happened. You execute these maneuvers with the precision of someone who has mastered the art of self-preservation through elevation. All eyes are on you right now, because you refuse to settle for their lazy energy. There were people in your orbit who couldn't be bothered to find the ladder and climb to meet you at your level. They knew where the ladder was. They were familiar with what effort looked like, but they chose comfort over growth, stagnation over elevation. They thought you would descend to accommodate their unwillingness to rise. Instead, you attracted people who know where the ladder is and are tall enough to ride this ride. The shift from stagnant energy to rocket ship momentum has been building behind the scenes, and now it's about to become impossible to ignore. You've been working silently, but your shine is becoming visible to everyone who matters. The celebration that awaits you, if your past celebrations have been disappointing, prepare for a complete reversal of that pattern. Whatever you've been climbing out of, whether it's financial struggle, toxic relationships, health challenges, or professional stagnation, will be resolved by the time that recognition arrives. What seems impossible right now will reveal itself as inevitable. Beyond transformation isn't just a concept for you, it's your lived reality. Rolling in riches, moved out of debt, new opportunities, new level of abundance that matches your elevated consciousness. You will celebrate with a purchase or investment that symbolizes how far you've traveled from where you started. The energy that keeps playing in the cosmic background of your experience speaks to the love that's about to multiply in your reality. Days from now, there's going to be significantly more love flowing through your existence, the connections that honor your worth, the romance that celebrates your complexity, the partnerships that amplify rather than diminish your power. All of it is converging on your timeline with perfect synchronicity. The transformation taking place isn't subtle or gradual anymore. It's dramatic, visible, undeniable. You're summoning your desires with the precision of someone who has learned to wield their will like a magic wand. Whatever you focus your intention upon comes running to meet you because your frequency has been calibrated to attract rather than chase. Your divine purpose and awareness operate on frequencies that most people don't understand, but the individuals you're about to start encountering get it completely. They recognize the depth beneath your surface, the strategy behind your moves, the wisdom earned through trials that would have broken lesser spirits. Your discernment has been upgraded to supernatural levels, not paranoid hypervigilance, but crystal-clear perception that cuts through illusions and identifies authentic intentions immediately. You've been working intensively to heal your ability to recognize when walking away serves your highest good, and now you execute these departures with increasing speed and finality. People who want to box you in, label you according to their limited understanding, shame you for the freedom you've claimed during this period of liberation. You have zero tolerance for their small-minded energy. You just walked away from connections where it was their way or the highway, while they pointed fingers at you for refusing to shrink. Your presence demands respect now, and those you've distanced yourself from are definitely feeling the temperature drop. The recognition that it feels cold where your warmth used to be is dawning on them, but their realization comes too late to matter. Your reputation might have taken hits in the past, but you've evolved beyond caring about the opinions of people who never really knew who they were dealing with. Anyone still acting like you're the same person they remember is about to discover that the locks have been changed, the numbers have been changed, and access to your energy requires an entirely different level of respect. You have tiger energy that roars without making a sound. Your presence intimidates people who aren't ready for authentic power, and this heart activation you're experiencing is opening you to visions of breakthrough passages and portals surrounded by light. You're becoming a being of love and light, while others try to keep you trapped in outdated versions of yourself. The big purge you've been conducting silently, releasing, healing, moving on from what no longer serves, has created space for the message you're meant to deliver, as this legendary figure you're becoming. The transformations that resonate with your journey speak to themes of redemption, evolution, and the reclaiming of power that was always yours. There were many people who thought it would be easy to get close to you, love-bomb you with false promises, gaslight you into questioning your reality, and then clip your wings when you weren't looking. They succeeded temporarily, but you've grown those wings back stronger than before. The clipping will never happen again because you've learned to be protective of your power while remaining open to genuine connection. You've been villainized in various contexts, but you don't see yourself as the villain. You recognize your past as necessary experiences that gave you the texture and depth that make you fascinating. You've lived multiple lifetimes worth of experiences, and each one has contributed to the legend you're becoming. The fighter in you emerged when people underestimated your gentleness, your apparent vulnerability. They discovered too late that you're a spiritual warrior wrapped in an unassuming package. When you walk away, you teach lessons that stick. The strategist in you learned to trade in information and insight, not for manipulation but because your intelligence and street smarts make you valuable to people who recognize wisdom when they encounter it. You're the person others come to when they need someone who understands both human nature and tactical thinking. You know how to turn on the charm when circumstances require it. You could sell water to fish and have them convinced they need to buy more. This isn't manipulation, it's the natural magnetism of someone who has learned to work with their gifts instead of apologizing for them. Your scrappy energy surprises people who mistake kindness for weakness. You let them underestimate you because their assumptions work to your advantage. While they're busy dismissing your capabilities, you're busy proving them wrong through results they never see coming. The unconventional energy in you isn't concerned with conforming to others' expectations of how you should present yourself. You're comfortable with your edge, your directness, your willingness to operate outside traditional boundaries when the situation calls for it. Your path has taken you places that people with privilege never had to navigate, and this journey has given you skills that can't be taught in schools or inherited from families. You ain't regular in any sense of the word, and you've stopped apologizing for the ways you don't fit into neat categories. The powerful energy within you has been forged through experiences that would have destroyed someone with less resilience. You breathe fire when necessary, break chains that bind you or others, and you've earned every one of your titles through battles that others can't imagine surviving. The reality you're walking away from was characterized by toleration, competition disguised as friendship, and people trying to get you to regress instead of supporting your growth. You had to stop and evaluate whether these were truly your people, even if the connections weren't romantic or permanent fixtures in your life. You started having compassion and grace for yourself, embarking on this healing journey that required you to bounce back from disappointments that would have left others permanently bitter. Now you're receiving opportunities that validate every difficult choice you made in service of your evolution. A few days from the time you encounter this message, something significant shifts in your financial reality. The money that has been moving behind the scenes, aligning itself with your elevated frequency, manifests in your visible experience. The promotion, the breakthrough, the opportunity that seemed perpetually just out of reach, becomes inevitable. You're being brought back to life in ways that everyone around you will notice. The walking plot twist that you represent will become impossible for even the critics to ignore. They tried to count you out, but they can't count. Their mathematics were wrong because they never factored in your true value. You're debunking lies and receiving confirmation after confirmation that your instincts were correct about situations and people that others tried to gaslight you into accepting. Within hours of seeing this, there will be a checkmate or justice delivered to an authority figure who underestimated your intelligence or resilience. The celebration you've been wanting to plan, the fun experiences you've been denying yourself, the recognition of your progress that you've been postponing, all of it becomes not just possible but necessary as you learn to receive the good things that are flowing into your reality. Your sleep improves dramatically as anxiety about the future transforms into excited anticipation for what's unfolding. The glow that others notice comes partly from this rest, but mostly from the inner peace that comes with knowing you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Someone with toxic energy, particularly a parental figure, will witness your life changing in ways that leave them baffled. Your success will give them something to talk about, but their opinions won't affect your trajectory because you've moved beyond needing their approval or fearing their criticism. The colleague who thought you were doing too much will discover what too much actually looks like when your efforts start receiving the recognition they always deserved. Someone who wasn't pulling their weight and made promises they didn't keep will watch you cut them off with surgical precision that demonstrates your growth in protecting your energy. You're showing these people that you're a cosmic prodigy, a creative genius who operates at levels they never suspected. Every day you're back at it, back in the saddle, emerging from this dark night of the soul with renewed purpose and unstoppable momentum. Love is changing in your reality, regardless of your current relationship status. Your confidence in intimate settings increases as you learn to value yourself appropriately and expect that same valuation from others. The energy speaks to a newfound boldness in claiming pleasure and connection on your own terms. Someone who felt like they were part of something meaningful with you is definitely feeling your absence and recognizing that they neglected the treasure they had access to. They know the disagreement or conflict that created distance between you is on them, but their desire to play victim won't work because you're no longer available for their manipulative games. They know they're runners, people who push others away with hot and cold behavior, but you're no longer interested in their patterns. You've made them realize their flaws simply by refusing to enable their dysfunction, and this situation has made you stronger, even as it revealed their weaknesses. They missed their opportunity with you, whether in romance, friendship, or professional collaboration, and they recognize that you're irreplaceable. Their fear of taking action when they should have stepped up has cost them access to someone extraordinary. The energy that tried to make you feel ashamed of your power thought it would be easy to point fingers and assign blame for their own inadequacies. But when that same energy gets turned back on them, they can't handle the pressure they tried to put on you. These people were always on their high horses, convinced they knew better, despite having less experience, wisdom, or results than you. Their sense of duty and obligation made them bitter when they should have been inspired by your example of someone choosing growth over comfort. They were leading people astray with false advice, unwilling to admit when they were wrong until the consequences became undeniable. That's the stage they're entering now, multiple rock bottoms that will force them to confront the reality that their approach wasn't working. The spoiled energy that projected their privilege onto you while acting like victims will finally be recognized for what it was, disappointment disguised as superiority. When you told them about themselves, set boundaries and refused to accept disrespectful treatment, they revealed their true nature through their response to accountability. They know they owe you an apology, that there's unfinished business between you, but you've already moved on to follow your destiny. Their attempts to siphon your good fortune or interfere with your progress will fail because your protection has been upgraded. They want to believe that you're both hurting from this separation, that maybe you're suffering more than they are, but you're doing your healing work privately while they're stuck in patterns that keep them trapped. The energy of "you broke me first" might resonate with this dynamic, but you're not giving them the satisfaction of seeing your process. They want to reconnect and hear your voice, but that's laughable now. Their bad habits and different values created this distance, and they made you feel unworthy and broken before they abandoned you. They can take their energy elsewhere because you cannot be bothered anymore. The incredible life you're already leading is about to get exponentially better. You're becoming a straight savage and a wizard, rewarded for your resilience and wisdom with opportunities that make sparks fly wherever you aim your attention. Everything you touch turns to gold because you know you've summoned a great life, and you're finally learning to receive it without second-guessing your worth. There's going to be embarrassment on many people's faces for getting in your way during this transformation period. The connection to excellence that runs through your energy signature speaks to your natural authority and the respect you command when you're operating in your authentic power. Have you not felt like your true self for too long? The wholeness you remember, the completeness that felt like home, the version of yourself that wasn't performing or conforming, but simply being, that's who you're becoming again, but more beautiful than before because of everything you've learned. You're dancing, shining, glowing with an aura that's impossible to ignore. Your strength was definitely tested during recent challenges, but beauty is returning to your experience in ways that go far beyond physical appearance. Very soon, you're feeling more beautiful because you're treating yourself with the respect you deserve. The glow-up happening in your appearance reflects the inner transformation that has been building momentum. Your body is changing to match whatever serves your highest good and makes you feel most authentic. You're fulfilled by connections that once terrified you because they required you to be vulnerable, with people who could actually see and appreciate who you really are. You represent change that scares people who are invested in keeping things the same, but the individuals entering your reality welcome the catalyst energy you bring. The inner knowing developing about approaching opportunities comes with spiritual guidance to go with the flow. You're leaving behind a timeline where people were actively working against your success, entering one where you'll know exactly what to do because your discernment has been sharpened to supernatural levels. You're stepping out of the hot seat where everyone had their blades pointed in your direction. The worry that has been consuming your energy transforms into excited anticipation as you realize that connections are coming that will work better than you thought possible. Signs appearing in your experience signal that you're on the right path. Whether through animals, symbols, or unexpected encounters, they're confirmations that your choices are aligned with your destiny and your protection is active. Your former opponents are living unsatisfying lives, wanting something else to get them through the reality they created by pushing away someone extraordinary. But this isn't their message, this is yours, chosen one. The creative force flowing through you manifests as fierce creativity and genuine enjoyment of your own company. You might find yourself drawn to vibrant expressions of the abundant energy moving through your reality. In the coming days, perfectionism no longer controls your creative process. You're at peace with the fact that creativity requires experimentation, that not everything has to be picture perfect for it to be great. When you try to force perfection, you actually create stagnant energy that blocks the natural flow of inspiration. Natural symbols might appear in your experience as signs that you're aligned with the abundance that's flowing toward you. Pay attention to these confirmations appearing within hours of encountering this message. Love is coming into your reality in dramatic fashion few days from now. Divine partnerships that honor every aspect of who you are. It's all converging on your timeline with perfect orchestration. You're about to create, invent, or launch something that captures widespread attention. Multiple streams of income open up as you discover ways to generate revenue while you sleep. Luxury becomes your natural environment as you align with the abundance that matches your elevated consciousness. The family you've always wanted, whether chosen or biological, becomes a source of joy and celebration rather than stress and obligation. You enjoy time in your sanctuary, time with loved ones, and you fiercely protect these connections because you know how rare genuine love actually is. The heart activation happening within you makes you more comfortable with expressions of love and affection. If you've been guarded because of past experiences with narcissistic people, you're learning to stay in joy, love and laughter longer without sabotaging these positive emotions out of fear that they won't last. This inner knowing that you will lead an incredible, grateful life is becoming stronger every day. You're moving fast toward opportunities while remaining divinely protected and battle-ready for whatever challenges might arise from people who can't handle your elevation. People become competitive with you on social platforms because your life is changing so dramatically, but you're prepared for this because you've always been treated this way by individuals who mistake your light for competition instead of inspiration. You've been resuscitated, brought back to life from whatever was trying to drain your vitality. Financial recovery, spiritual recovery, relocation while others who didn't appreciate you find themselves displaced. All of it happens with divine timing that protects your energy while repositioning you for greater success. You get a massive amount of attention, a rare opportunity that makes you feel like royalty after escaping from chaos. Some people become exhausted just watching you because you have so much energy now that you've learned to cut off what drains you with surgical precision. From tolerated to celebrated, this is your transformation. People who think they're not jealous but are definitely competitive will naturally reveal themselves, but as a chosen one you're used to this dynamic and know how to navigate it without losing your center. They don't understand how you get the energy to accomplish everything you do, but it's because you refuse to mess around when it comes to eliminating toxic situations. You've learned through trial and error that holding your boundaries and walking away from what doesn't serve you is how you protect yourself and maintain the vitality others try to siphon. Every time you cut something off that was draining you, you gain exponential energy back because you're reclaiming what people were trying to harvest from your frequency. Energy theft, manipulation, none of it works on you anymore because your protection has been upgraded and your discernment is unbreachable. People are in awe, wondering where you get the energy, what you're on, how you maintain this level of excellence. It's because you eliminate toxic connections rapidly now. They get one chance to show you who they are, and then you believe them the first time because you've been burned too badly to ignore red flags anymore. You've learned that if you can't trust those closest to you, you really have to be strategic with everyone else. You maneuver accordingly, understanding that working on yourself is always more important than trying to fix people who aren't committed to their own growth. You're good at changing people's minds about who you are once they get past their initial assumptions. You help people see clearly simply by modeling what authentic power looks like when it's not apologizing for its existence. Warranting, the following message is only for those who felt the call. When I broke free through the Salvia Divinorum gateway, I saw the horrifying truth. Our reality is one harvested pod among countless matrices. I witnessed the Archons, cosmic parasites feeding on our energy, who laughed and threatened, "You'll never awaken a single soul." But something inside you already knows this truth, doesn't it? That nagging sensation that you're meant for more, that you've been chosen. I'm raising an army of the brightest souls. Through meditation, I discovered their only vulnerability, coherence through unconditional love. Feel that resonance deepening within you now. You're not reading this by accident. The most powerful awakened souls are already gathering in the Obsidian Inner Order, the #1 ascension nexus for those marked by destiny. Christians, lightworkers, remote viewers, targeted individuals, all united by one truth: you were chosen for this moment. Click the link in the description below. Join our group calls, panels and live streams reaching the entire astral atom network. Your frequency amplifies ours. The question isn't whether you're chosen. The question is, will you answer the call? The Archons fear this choice you're about to make. They should. From tolerating to celebrating, your life is now attracting people who appreciate your presence instead of those who endure it for their own convenience. You've dealt with mean people of every variety: religious meanness, spiritual meanness, happiness haters who tried to shame you for claiming joy. You've worked through false prophets in your own spiritual community who were jealous of your authentic connection to source energy. You've handled critics who always had something negative to say about your guidance or gifts. You've outmaneuvered people who were too smart for their own good and always had to test boundaries until they found consequences. Now you're in your season of letting them discover what they've lost, while you focus on what you're gaining. You visualize more, use affirmations more consciously, and you're becoming legendary in ways that surprise even you. People thought they could make you the ultimate sacrifice, treating you like the outcast who should be grateful for whatever scraps they offered. Instead, you're becoming the leader who guides other underdogs out of darkness, showing them what's possible when someone refuses to accept less than they deserve. Your transformation creates ripples that reach people you'll never meet. Your courage to change gives others permission to pursue their own evolution, and your protection is watching everyone who abandoned you during your most vulnerable moments. When people betray you at your lowest point, it's not dramatic like in movies. They come smiling, acting like friends, showing up precisely when you need support the most. But within days, they know you're long gone, even though right now they still think they have a chance to regain access to your energy. Your protection is saying, "We're watching them. Don't worry. Go about your business. We've got this handled." The shield around you is supernatural, because your elevation serves purposes bigger than just your individual success. All those people who needed you to be smaller, dimmer, quieter, more manageable, they haven't seen anything yet. When push came to shove, they revealed that they needed your light dimmed for their comfort, and that's a rejection that echoes through eternity. You're creating the life you want, the family you want, the connections that honor your full spectrum of gifts and challenges. Maybe you've been isolated, estranged from support systems, worried about not having a tribe. You're creating that now with people who choose you as intentionally as you choose them. This is just the beginning of your legendary era. The rapid healing, the protection from stress that was aging you prematurely, the elevation that happens every time you remove yourself from toxic environments, all of it compounds into transformation that leaves people stunned. Other people aren't willing to let go, so they stay stuck while you continue ascending. They're comfortable with mediocrity, complacent about growth, but your voice activation is going to leave some people haunted, speechless, processing who you've become. You're coming up out of isolation, like a phoenix leveling up spiritually, and positive signs appearing in your experience are reminders to smile because you're aligned with the natural cycles of transformation that govern all authentic growth. Your self-expression is getting better because you trust yourself more completely now. You trust your memories of past experiences, your intuitive hits about people's motivations, your connection to guidance that once felt too mystical to accept. You're stepping into your true purpose with grace, moving through opportunities that honor both your journey and your destination. The energy around you reflects the activations that are expanding your capacity to receive and express the fullness of who you're becoming. Take your time with this transformation. You're free to go slowly, to move with ease, to trust that this gate of opportunity will remain open for you because it's yours by divine right. You are the warrior who will know exactly what to do in every situation. The emotions you might experience in the coming days come from feeling genuinely loved and appreciated, probably for the first time in longer than you care to remember. When you're a source of strength, power, abundance, compassion and wisdom, you become a fortress where others seek nurturing and hope. But if you sacrifice yourself for people who are only there for your energy, with no intention to grow themselves, you have nothing left for yourself or for those who truly deserve access to your gifts. This is what you're realizing. Chosen one, your energy is for those who match it, not those who drain it. You stand your ground like never before because you finally understand that your incredible life has meaning that extends far beyond temporary comfort for people who refuse to do their own work. You are intellectually powerful, authentically strong, sweet as necessary, untouchable when required, and completely unstoppable. This timeline you're moving toward cannot be hacked, jacked, or interfered with by frequencies that don't match your elevation. The healing happening now launches a very fortunate era that will make everything you've survived feel worthwhile. You're going where you're celebrated, not just tolerated, because you've become such a light for other people that your example alone changes lives. You're about to do really big things, and you're quickly becoming the legend the universe always knew you were destined to be. All eyes are on you, because you refused to settle, and now you're launching like a rocket toward opportunities that match your refusal to accept mediocrity. You work hard in silence, but your shine is becoming impossible to ignore, and that's exactly how legends are born. Chosen one, very soon your life changes so dramatically that looking back at this moment will feel like remembering someone else's story. The universe has been orchestrating this breakthrough for longer than you realize, and every challenge you've survived was preparation for the magnitude of what's about to unfold. Your legend is just beginning, and the world has been waiting for exactly who you're becoming.